Welcome to AG Chelsea TV. In today's video we'll start with Leon Bailey hints he'd join Chelsea. Aston Villa star Leon Bailey told that Let's Be Honest podcast that he doesn't know who would be able to say no to a side who are part of the well-known Big Six. Bailey has enjoyed a strong season at Villa Park, with 8 goals and 8 assists, already doubling both categories than what he did last season. Featuring predominantly on the right wing, he has been linking up well with Ollie Watkins, who has also previously been mentioned as on Chelsea's radar for a potential attacker to join them. It is the Jamaican international though who has openly admitted he would love a move to a top side, with him being directly asked if he would consider joining Chelsea. He said, "You have big teams in England, they call themselves the Big Six. The Arsenals and the Chelseas. It has always been my dream to play in the Premier League and I am right now. Who wouldn't want to go to a massive team? Especially coming out of Jamaica. Do you know how big that is for the country? Especially being who I am as well, it would shine more light, and that has been my focus whenever overseas. It is to use my platform to be able to shine light on the country and the young talents. It's difficult for us Jamaicans to even make it to Europe." The 26-year-old would likely be worth big money, especially given the fact that he only recently signed a new deal at Villa Park. The new contract will see him remain at his club until at least 2027, with an option to stay for another year. Chelsea are already well stacked in the right-wing position, with Noni Madueke and Cole Palmer jostling for a place there most weeks. Thiago Silva returned to Fluminense inevitable. For the first time since joining Chelsea now nearly 4 years ago, Thiago Silva appears to have dropped down the defensive depth chart. Since a relatively rare injury last month, Silva has not played single minute, with Axel Disasi and Trevoh Chalobah preferred in the last few games and Silva sitting on the bench for the last 3, and that has started to really make it feel like the 39-year-old's time at Stamford Bridge is ending. Of course we knew this would have to happen eventually, time waits for no man, and there's been no talk of yet another 1-year contract extension, but Silva has certainly defied the odds for longer than anyone might have expected. And he might not be done playing. A return to boyhood club Fluminense has been seen as the logical last step for his legendary career to come full circle, and the Brazilian club's director remains optimistic of that eventuality. Thiago Silva has been a dream of ours for a long time. The president talks to him almost every week. Thiago has a contract in England, we're rooting for him. I personally am a friend of his, I'm a big fan of his character, he deserves all the best. He knows that here the doors are wide open for him to return. There's nothing in the pipeline. We have to be careful not to put pressure on Thiago. The fans love Thiago, we love Thiago, and Thiago loves Fluminense. One day it's inevitable, it will happen, it's the players' wish, the club's wish, and we hope it happens as soon as possible. There's certainly a reasonable, common-sense argument that Chelsea are best served by handing over the keys to the next generation. But Silva has been a firm fan favourite, and hopefully he can return in some sort of coaching capacity whenever he does decide to hang up his boots. Chelsea told to sell 3 players for £110 million. Both Everton and Nottingham Forest have been hit with a points deduction this season after they were charged with breaching the Premier League's FFP regulations, which permit clubs to record a maximum loss of £105 million across a rolling 3-year period, or £35 million each season. Chelsea, meanwhile, have spent in excess of £1 billion on new signings since Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital purchased the club from Roman Abramovich in May 2022. And football finance expert Stefan Borson believes Chelsea could be looking at a stronger punishment from the Premier League compared to Everton and Forest, possibly more severe, Borson told TalkSport. "I think the scale of the losses they're currently forecasting, to me, appear to be vastly in excess of both Everton and Nottingham Forest." Borson now believes Chelsea would need to sell several first-team players before the FFP deadline on June 30th. There was an assumption with Mason Mount, because he was announced on Manchester United's website on July 1st that his sale had been put into this current season, Borson said. So the £55 million of profit was in this season. It now transpires that Mason Mount appears to have been transacted in 2022-23, and that is how they got through. When it was suggested that Chelsea now have a £55 million hole this season, Borson replied, "Correct, because we also know from the Blueco accounts that they are currently, from the post-balance sheet events, that they are something like £48 million in profit for this year. But of course, this year from an operating perspective, is going to be even worse than last year because they've got no Champions League and no Europe at all." When asked how Chelsea can financially cope without European football, Borson replied, "Really, they have to find buyers for Trevoh Chalobah for £20 million. Armando Broja for £40 million, and Conor Gallagher for £50 million. Chelsea by Colorado's Mauricio, Vozes do Gigante have revealed that Chelsea could buy the 22-year-old, with Colorado looking to make €12 million with his sale. Chelsea is one of the clubs that have interest in international winger Mauricio. It's interesting because it appears that the Blues have links with a number of players who are less well-known and less expensive, which is a departure from their recent approach of signing £100 million stars like Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. The latest player they have links with would cost around €12 million, which is a total snip in comparison to many other recent signings of Chelsea, and this might be because they have one eye on not breaking financial rules going forward. Andre Curie, who takes care of Mauricio's career, said about Chelsea's interest, "I know they like him a lot, but so far there have been no inquiries. He's got several inquiries from Europe." The 22-year-old has been the center of attention not only in Brazil, but also on the radar of major European clubs. Since arriving at Internacional back in 2020, the youngster has 25 goals and 25 assists in 165 appearances. The young midfielder's potential on the field is undeniable, significantly contributing to his ability to score goals and create opportunities for his teammates. His consistent performance and youth make him a valuable asset for any team seeking success both domestically and internationally. With an impressive track record of goals and assists, his promising journey has caught the eye of giants like Flamengo, Botafogo, Chelsea, and Tottenham. Mauricio is also far from being a big star in Brazilian football, so we better wait and see if Chelsea's interest materializes. And that's the final content of today's video. Like, subscribe to support AG Chelsea TV.